Welcome to the Beer Den Podcast. Tonight we'll be drinking New Belgium's Fat Tire Amber Ale.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Beer Den Podcast. My name is Ethan Hoopy.
And I'm Michael LaRoe. Tonight we're drinking New Belgium's Fat Tire. They started commercially back in 1991, the year that we were both born.
Hey.
But they started a couple years before that in founder Jeff LaBeche, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, his basement though. Fun fact about them, they are 100% employee owned, based out of Fort Collins, Colorado, and they actually just opened a second facility in Asheville, North Carolina a couple years ago. As a company, they're actually pretty sweet. They have something that they call the New Belgium Beer Scouts, and what that is, it's like a group of employees that do random volunteering in the communities that the companies are based in. Back in 2014, one of the things that they did was like a military appreciation drive, and they ended up they raised enough money to send out 300 care packages to troops.
Oh, that's really good.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool when these craft breweries can actually give back, and they're kind of like a company with a purpose there.
Yeah, I see a lot of them kind of try to do that kind of stuff, get involved with the community and stuff.
Mm-hmm. I like it. So right off the bat with this beer, we'll go into the overall looks of it. And it's a very nice copper auburn color, very transparent as well.
Yeah, there's no haziness in it pretty much at all. The head when poured was really good.
Yeah.
It has all right lacing on it. You know, it sticks to the glass all right. Yeah, but like you said, very translucent, very clear.
What aromas did you pick up when you were smelling it?
The first thing that I really noticed was how sweet it smelled. It had some malty notes to it, kind of balanced well with the hoppy notes, and a lot of citrus notes going on there too.
Yeah, I picked up some floral hoppiness to it, and like you said, a slight malty smell as well. The mouthfeel on it, I thought was, just short of amazing. Like, it was nice and silky. There was a medium dryness to it, but it was still pretty soft.
Yeah, I would even say it was a pretty light dryness. Like, I feel like most stuff that we have, even though we've kind of gone kind of an IPA craze, but those are a bit more drier. But yeah, no, it was really good, really smooth.
I didn't feel like it was overly bitter. I thought that was really restrained.
Yeah, no, it was really well balanced. Mm-hmm. I didn't think it was really bitter at all. Yeah, it's just, again, very smooth, very refreshing.
I thought it did have like a lingering aftertaste to it. Mm-hmm. It's compared to other beers we've tried lately, the flavor in those kind of dissipated.
Yeah.
This one kind of sticks around just a bit, and it keeps you coming back frequently until before you know it, the pint's gone.
Yeah. I would say the flavor is very consistent throughout.
Yeah.
It's not like there's one big burst of flavor up front and then it kind of like evolves over time. It from start to finish, it's a very consistent, sweet, malty with a little bit hop flavor to it.
So flavor wise, I got kind of a little bit of flowery and toasty notes to it.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
All right. So we base everything on 3 criteria. 50 points goes to quality, which is everything we just went over. We have value out of 25 points, and then the design of the can or bottle out of another 25 points. I ended up giving the Fat Tire a 40 out of 50. I thought it had a pretty balanced flavor. It wasn't overwhelmingly hoppy and it wasn't extremely malty. I thought it felt pretty well within the parameters of an amber ale.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I ended up giving a very similar score, 39. I thought it was very balanced. This is definitely something I would go to again. Definitely it's even kind of a good party beer, something that you can drink very casually and drink multiple, and it's not overwhelming or anything.
Yeah. It's hard to beat how smooth that this beer was.
Yeah. It's really good in that sense. So what did you end up giving it on value? I know it came in at around $8.99 for a 6-pack.
So I scored it value-wise at a 23. For being under $10, that's somewhat rare when you get into craft beers.
Yeah.
Especially for like a 6-pack. And with what I scored it for quality being exceptionally smooth, having good color, having really good flavor, I thought that was really fair. I contemplated giving it higher than that, but I think there could be a little bit stronger flavor to it. So I had to count.
Almost because of how smooth and consistent it is, there's really there's nothing surprising about it.
What did you score it for value?
I ended up giving it a 22. Again, very similar to yours. Similar reasoning. It has a really good taste to it, very consistent. And like $8.99, how do you beat that? I mean, that's a very competitive price, and especially for something that is coming out of a craft brewery.
I wonder if it's because they've been around for such a long time and they're such a big player in the craft beer market.
They just have it down.
If they have like good distribution,
yeah,
and, processes down that they can offer it at a lower price. Design wise, I scored it a 21 out of 25. I thought the bottle was pretty good. It has a stamp in the neck of the bottle, but it doesn't have that like top neck label that I like to see. The name and the picture on the label I enjoy. So kind of the background on that, it has a picture of a fat tired bike, and the owner, when he came up with the recipe for this, he was over in Europe and he was biking through the countryside, came back to Fort Collins, Colorado, and started brewing this in his basement and decided to call it Fat Tire because of the fat tire bike he was riding.
Oh, that's interesting.
So to pay homage to that on the bottle itself, I think it really ties back into the history. And so I like that look for this. And their color scheme is pretty consistent for New Belgium. What it is lacking, though, is a description of the beer. It does have an enjoy by date, which most beers do have. It doesn't have the bottling date, which is a little disappointing. I do like to see that. But it does also have a note to employee owners would love to see you enjoying our beer. And so they have their handle, their social media handle on the bottle and their website on there. And that's, especially in today's modern age, it's nice to see these craft beer companies,
really embracing social media.
Exactly, embracing that.
Trying to get connected with their fans and everything.
Yeah. So I didn't hate the bottle. I just think there was a couple things that it could have added to it or maybe done just a little bit better.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on that. I ended up giving it a 17, which is a little bit lower than yours. Kind of my reasoning was specifically the lack of a description. I really wish I had something about the beer, kind of whether a description specifically about the beer or even a little bit more about the company, kind of give us some insight as to, where they come from and everything. Other than that, the neck label was kind of an issue. It is cool that they have like a custom made glass bottle with their name and everything on it. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I like the design of having the two labels and everything.
I think it makes it feel a little bit more complete. And you and I are both like, the description of the beer is big for us because if you're going to a place where you can build your own 6-pack, and so you're just trying to get new stuff that you've never had before, when you pick up a beer that actually does catch your eye, you want to know kind of like a little bit more about it, especially somebody who's new to the game and doesn't necessarily know like what a brown ale entails, or what's an American IPA compared to just an IPA. Like, having that description can help pull people in a little bit further, and instead of them just going and be like, I don't want to mess with this, give me my Bud Light some more.
Yeah, and definitely, like, if you're somebody who doesn't necessarily like IPAs, but maybe you've never tried it in APA, and so having a description on that may draw people in that, this is actually something that's going to taste quite a bit different than just a standard IPA. Mm-hmm. Also, kind of in that regard, IPAs have a huge variety of different flavors and stuff like that. And, even with like amber ales and stuff, every beer kind of category, there's a huge variety of different flavors that can come from the same type of beer. And so having a description, I think, just helps the customer, definitely would help us be able to look at it, read the description, and decide, okay, is this something that we're going to enjoy, or is this something that maybe I should just pass on? But besides the description, it does have the alcohol content, which I don't know if we said what it was. It's a 5.2 APV, so not too bad. Other than that, for me, I do like to see some sort of connection between kind of the design of the beer and the actual kind of experience drinking it. In this case, I do understand that there's sort of a connection with when he actually came up with the idea of it. So, I mean, I guess I can get a pass for that. Also, the kind of style of the design is very similar to basically all of their beer designs. So they have at least some consistency with that. So yeah, I think a 17, really it's the lack of description for me. That's what really brought it down. But other than that, yeah, like, it is kind of eye-catching. It's not something you would necessarily expect to see on the shelf.
Mm-hmm. All right. So with that, Ethan's score was a 78 out of 100. Mine was an 84 out of 100. Averaging those out, we get an 81 for New Belgium's Fat Tire Amber Ale.
Hey, everybody. Thank you for listening to another Beer Den review.
Don't forget to follow us on social media. Links down in the description.
Subscribe, like, and share. And if there are any beers you would like us to try out, leave them in the comments below.
We'll see you on the next episode of the Beer Den Podcast.